If you're new here, we're making over every room in my family's new house. And today we're focusing on the hallway leading up to the main bathroom, which I actually made over in a previous episode to this gorgeous wallpaper. But imagine having such a vibrant bathroom and then this being the lead up. The two just don't match. So I want to transform it to create more ambiance. Plus, make the space a little bit more practical, like this towel holder placement, which is kind of out of reach to be drying your hands on. And also they're not satisfied with the closet configuration. However, that is a whole nother project in itself. But we'll see what we can do for now until we eventually upgrade the wardrobe system. And this is the direction that I want to go in. Something warm so that it will complement the colors in the bathroom. And the reason that I went for such a deep tone is because I think it's healthy to sometimes just embrace that a space is dark rather than trying to brighten it. So since this area doesn't get very much natural light, if any at all, not only am I accepting that fact, but I'm actually enhancing it. One, because again, like I said, it is what it is. And secondly, because it's going to make an even more dramatic effect when you finally do open the bathroom door. Like you're walking through this dramatically moody hallway, but then you're awakened by this very vivid experience. Plus the inspo is spa, because after all, the sink is where you do like all the things, brush your teeth, wash your face, do your skincare. So why not make it feel dim and serene for when you're getting ready for bed and not stark and jarring when you've just woke up and are trying to get ready in the morning. So first, we prep. Now, because the ceiling is textured, I knew that tape alone just would not give me clean lines. So I tried that technique where you caulk over it first and then paint while it's still wet. The key to this though is waiting long enough for the caulk to form a skin so that it doesn't blend into your paint color, but not so long that when you remove the tape, the caulk crumbles. So what I did is I taped up the whole ceiling and broke it up, caulking 2 sections at a time. So basically while I'm piping and smoothing section 2, section 1 is drying. Then I can cycle back to section 1, apply paint, and then immediately take off the tape, then rinse and repeat. And although it's definitely more work, that actually worked really good because I didn't have high hopes for this. Especially because the ceiling isn't even popcorn, it's just like really chunky plaster. Since I've been doing so much painting and don't foresee that changing anytime soon, I decided to invest in this reusable silicone liner. And as you can see, it doesn't quite fit. That's because they also make a tray that goes with this, but I already had a metal one that I didn't want to go to waste, and I made the mistake of just assuming that it was standard size. It's not. So I might invest in that later because I do like this. The fact that it has a lid is obviously great because then you can stop a project and then come back to it the next day and it'll still be wet and usable. When you're done, you can just let it air dry and peel it away. So if you're doing like major renovations or do a lot of DIYs in general, this is a good alternative to the plastic ones. Since there isn't a plan for the closets yet, I'm just gonna optimize what's already here because I feel like oftentimes you don't even need more storage. Like you just need to rethink the format. So step 1, I took everything out and then designated each item into a category. Then once you have a sense for the number of things that you have per category, then you can determine where it should live based on where you interact with it and frequency of engagement. The cabinet I really wanted to convert into drawers because I feel like they're more practical, but that idea was definitely above my pay grade. I don't even have the tools for all that. So I got this stack, which functions like a drawer, but on a smaller scale. And although I couldn't replace the cabinet, that doesn't mean I can't give them a little razzle dazzle. Felt like just painting them wouldn't be enough though. So despite me being very intimidated by doing veneer, I knew I needed to at least try because burl wood was exactly what I needed to bring my vision to life. So although this was also above my pay grade, where there is YouTube University, there's a way. Everything that I'm using I have linked in the description box as always, but I thought it would be fun to recap or even curate things like DIYs, maybe even recipes, since some of you have mentioned that you miss my cooking videos. Basically anything that I'm loving at the moment but haven't gotten around to filming or sharing on my socials. So I'm currently working on sending out my first newsletter, which of course I use Squarespace to create. I was recently scrolling through some of their new templates and I was just really inspired, like so much so that I decided not only to send out this newsletter, but to update and put my website back up. Before, I felt like I was just making it more complicated than it needed to be. I was stuck in freeze, too focused on determining which elements were just right, like perfect. But Squarespace recently launched features like design intelligence to help with that very issue, which uses AI to help you build a more personalized site by allowing you to visualize all of the little details and adapt their features to you or your brand. I didn't use it for my site because I just loved the templates as they were, but I would best describe it as like taking your clothes to a tailor. It helps fine-tune the fit so that it fits your unique body, or in this case, style. Things like switching up the layout or customizing the color palette without sacrificing the balance of good design. Or you struggle to find the right words to say, you can even have it write your copy. So if you've been meaning to start that blog, want to sell your products or offer services, or you just want a landing page for your little space on the internet, you can get 10% off with my code abetweene or head to squarespace.com/abetweene. Any in-shower hair care like shampoo and conditioner and body care I placed inside of the bathroom for easy access. And I devised a plan for which containers I would reuse and what I should replace to best house other categories. I got a makeup bag that could also fit the brushes instead of having them standing up in a brush holder collecting dust. And then I got like a first aid box for all of the, medical equipment, band-aids, pain relievers, all that. And I actually had way too much fun doing this. Like I was so invested in finding the perfect placement and storage for stuff that isn't even mine that I'm convinced that I should probably be a professional organizer. Like the way that I have always loved containers, I feel like I would eat that up. This required every last bit of my concentration and patience, so that's why I filmed very little of the process, but I did link the videos that I referred to in the description box if you want a tutorial. And the plan was to cover the entire unit, but I was concerned that the fumes from the contact cement would just be too strong to be bringing inside the house, so I just decided to paint the framework. Just like the last bathroom makeover, I used cloths to hang the mirror and updated the light switches, this time going with brown because white definitely would have clashed. Ideally, I would want with brass,